Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Noelle, aka Makeup Esquire, and today we are going to be redoing my lashes. Welcome to the live. I just am going live now on Instagram and on YouTube, but thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, my name's Noelle and I love LASHIFY. I'm obsessed. I got my little LASHIFY ears on. So this is just like a quick little impromptu live here that I didn't really have planned, but I figured I was going to be redoing my lashes anyway. So if y'all want to see how I do my lashes, feel free to stay tuned. All right, so LASHIFY is a DIY at-home lash extension system, and I love it because I can do them myself and I don't have to be going into the salon every time to get my lashes done. It saves me time, it saves me money, and I only switch them out every week or every 2 weeks. So this system has really changed my life and I feel very strongly and passionately about that. I think everybody should know about it. I discovered LASHIFY back in 2019. This is not sponsored. And ever since I have been wearing these lashes. So I do have an affiliate link to LASHIFY. They are actually having a site-wide 25% off sale for Labor Day. So I have pinned my affiliate link on Instagram, and it's also at the link in my bio on my link tree. I'll also make sure to pin my affiliate link in the description of the video on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. But the cool thing about LASHIFY is you're in full control of the style that you want. They have tons of different styles. I have tried almost every single one. They have all different lengths. They have different shades depending on what color hair you have. They have chocolate. They have truffle, which is like a beautiful mix of chocolate and brown. They have even, I think, like a red tone one if you're a redhead. And then I just typically like the black, the standard black. Hey, Kat, welcome. There you are. I was hoping you could join. You're at work. Okay, no worries. Thanks for being here. So yeah, I'm just redoing my lashes. That's why I have come on with pretty much a clean face, because LASHIFY has really made me feel a lot more confident without makeup on. I have taken off my last set of lashes that I was wearing for, I think I got 2 weeks out of my last set. And I was wearing them during my live that I did yesterday. If y'all didn't catch that live, I went live yesterday and did my makeup. And they were kind of on their last day, I guess. So today I pulled out these FFS, for fluff's sake is the style. These are 10s and 12s, and then I have some 16s. So if you're new to LASHIFY, you can just get the control kit. I would recommend you starting out by getting the control kit because it has everything you need. Something that it stands out about LASHIFY's system is their wand. So a big chunk of what you pay for in the control kit is the wand. I liked it so much that I even bought myself a second one so that I can have what these that LASHIFY refers to as wandums, which are these like little rubber protectors, and these help you fuse. So once I get all my lashes on, I can just like mush them all together. That's called fusing. And then I like to have the ones without so that I can apply them and be more precise. You definitely don't need two wands. I used the same one and just took the wandums on and off for a long time. Hey, Shannon. Yes, welcome everyone. So these are handmade in Pakistan by one family, and they have been making these wands for LASHIFY since the inception of the company. It's a female-owned company. Sahara Lottie, the founder and CEO, an inventor of LASHIFY, is very transparent. She gets up on her channel and goes live all the time, and I've been pretty much following her, you know, since I discovered LASHIFY back in in 2019. I know that she has been controversial lately in the media, but honestly, I just think that she's misunderstood. And I have been frequently on her lives. I attend, those lives that where she talks about, like everything that's going on in her company in long form type of content style. And I've just come to realize that, like, I just think that she is extremely passionate about her craft. She's pretty much given up everything and put her whole heart and soul and all her money into this system. And, people have, and she has had a lot of hardships that come with that. So, and especially being a woman in a male dominated industry. So, yeah, just getting that out of the way. I highly recommend you get this like little silicone sticky pad. This is where you can lay out your lash map. So this is going to be helpful for you to kind of organize yourself. I know, Shannon, you said you were talking about thinking about picking some up for your birthday. That's coming up on the 17th, I believe, fellow Virgo sis. So now's the time. If you're thinking about grabbing the control kit, you can get 25% off anything LASHIFY right now during Labor Day. But you can use my affiliate link anytime and get 20% off your purchase at LASHIFY by going through my link. So thank you so much by using my affiliate link. If you are planning on shopping LASHIFY, I may get a small commission at no additional cost to you. And yeah, it just really helps support my channel. So, like I said, not sponsored. LASHIFY doesn't even know who I am. I just feel very passionately about their system. I've tried other like dupes in the past and just really nothing compares to the quality of these lashes. So this style that I'm doing is kind of like one of their like star styles. So as you can tell, it's kind of like more pointy in the middle. And they're similar to their Stardusts, but these are just like a little bit fluffier. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. It's like between a star and like a more fluffy style. So I just want to make sure that I have an even number on either side. And when you get these little, what LASHIFY calls gossamers, she always throws in like an extra 1 or 2 in there in case something like this happens to you, like it happened to me when I was pulling them out. Some of them are just really delicate, so you're just going to want to be really careful. For the more delicate styles, there is a way for you to just stick your tool, your little wand in there, and just kind of like on the side, on the very tip, just pop it off if you don't want to, and then that'll just kind of like help release the rest of them. But on like the thicker styles, you can definitely just take your fingers and take them out. You did the eye shape test. How did that go, Shannon? I know that that's a newer feature that they recently have offered on their website. I haven't tried it myself yet, but it's great if you're a beginner to try out different styles, or it sounds like it's great. I know the CEO is really excited about that eye shape test that she was able to do, I think with like AI, where you can test out the different shapes and see kind of what they look like on your particular eye shape. So I'm just going to count and make sure that I have an equal number on each size. So I start going from shorter in length in the inner corner, and then as I move outward, I go longer to just give me kind of like a cat eye shape. So, and then sometimes I end up with, maybe one more on my right eye, just because I find that through doing this, I was able to realize that my right eye seems to be a tiny bit bigger than my left. So you just kind of have to adjust. But yeah, no biggie. If that's the case, I've heard that it's extremely common, that pretty much everybody has that issue. And then when they do break in half, I don't really trip, because sometimes I like half pieces for like the very inner, in case I don't want to put like an entire little gossamer in the inner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Okay, there's 3 big ones. There's 3 middle ones. Hey, Alicia, how are you? Hey, Yasmin, how are you? I'm doing my lashes. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay. So I'm just trying to get like an even number on each side that I'm going to be applying. And you can reuse them. You can just soak them in alcohol. I like to use 99% alcohol. And then I just kind of like clean off the little gossamers with a little brush, just like a cheap synthetic brush. And like this is, for instance, these are ones that I've already used. And then I just like restuck here in this little container that I got off Amazon. According to LASHIFY, they didn't make them to be reused, but they do acknowledge that some styles lend themselves better to be reused than other styles. So it just kind of depends on the styles that you're using too, I find. Because the lighter you go with them, like the more lightweight the style is, the more delicate they tend to be, and then the easier it is that they are to kind of fall apart on you if you are trying to reuse them. Anyway, okay, so the bonds really stand out because they're semi-permanent bonds, so they don't actually damage your real eyelashes. So in your control kit, if you're just starting out, you can get Whisper Light Flexible Bond, and it has a clear side on one side and a black side on the other with a micro spoolie. And so it's the same type of glue, except she gives you the option of having black and black with the micro spoolie, and then the clear transparent glue with a little pointy side so that you can be more precise. And especially if you get like lifting at the spine, that's where I take the little precise tip and do touch-ups throughout the week if I feel the need to. But these last me through showers. They're waterproof. You could get the bondage with charcoal flex separately if you really want to like double down on the glue, which I like to do. It's not as user-friendly, but it's definitely more waterproof. So people even like swim with this and their lashes stay on. So I'll show you how I like to do mine. So basically I like to first go in with the black micro spoolie, and I'm starting to get to the end of mine and I already have backups of these bonds, but hopefully you can see. I'll zoom in for you to be able to see better. Hey Stacy, how are you? I'm redoing my lashes. So I'm going through and brushing the black glue onto my lashes, and I highly recommend that you have a mirror that you're looking down on during the process of attaching these little clusters. You'll just have an easier time. And LASHIFY does have their own little they have a couple different options in mirrors. One is like a more to-go mirror, and then one is like a one for like your desk. Yes. I don't blame you for wanting them because they have really changed my makeup game. Like seriously. And if you're a beginner, I would recommend doing one eye at a time. But because I can pretty much, once I get started, having everything laid out for myself already, it goes pretty fast for me. I can work with 2 eyes at a time And that way I make sure that they're nice and even. And there's a little bit of a learning curve when you're just starting out, but don't be afraid. It took me a little while and a few different, you know, a few times practicing until I really nailed down the system. But once you get it down, it's super easy. And then you will not want to go back to traditional mascara, because this is just so much better and way nicer. So this is what LASHIFY calls the frosting method. So after they put one layer, and make sure that there's like minimal clumping. So that's important because you don't want to overdo it on the bonds. You just want to go in with light layers. So the frosting layer kind of just like you hit the roots with a clear one, and I'll show you what it looks like right now. It goes on white on application, but it ends up drying clear. So you can see that I have some of the white kind of towards the roots. That's what LASHIFY calls the frosting method. And it really helps to keep these babies on by using these light layers of glue. When you first get your glue, when it's newer, it's going to be more wet, but you know, once you kind of like start getting more use out of it, it starts to kind of get like stickier and kind of like a mascara, same type of idea. And then I like to take the bondage, which is like super janky because it's kind of like on its last leg, as you can see. And I just like to dip the spine into the bondage just to give me like even more, just reinforce the spine. But you do not have to do this. In fact, I don't know that many people that do it, especially not as a beginner. But you can start anywhere you want. You can start on the inner corner. You can start in the middle. Or you can start on the outer. I tend to, by habit, want to start in the inner corner. But lately, I've been trying to experiment with starting in the middle, and it's been going pretty well for me. So let's start in the middle. And the most important part about this application is you want to stick it 1 to 2 millimeters away from your actual waterline. It's not going to be going on your actual waterline, okay? If you stick it on your actual waterline, it's going to be uncomfortable. So you can give it like a light fuse at first just to make sure that you're going to be like happy with the placement. I'm going to go in with the next size up, do the same thing, add a little bit of glue on the spine, just very little. Very little. And you can overlap it a little bit. That's kind of like what I like to do. So I like to put them overlapping just a little bit. Hopefully you can see, so that they kind of attach to one another. I find that you get more longevity that way. You can also do what LASHIFY calls the brick stacking method, where instead of overlapping it, I would put it a little bit further away, and then I would stick one right in the middle. So just think of like a brick wall and how they're like, you know, like this, and then one is kind of like sticking on both of them on top, in this case underneath. So either way, whichever way you prefer, but I recommend doing one of those two methods because it will help the little clusters to last longer. All right, so here we go with the next size in. And I'm just going to overlap it So there's a little bit of bond on my little tool here. So it's helpful to have a little microfiber cloth next to you to be wiping it down, because as you can see, it wasn't sticking onto my eye because it was sticking onto the actual wand. So just wipe off any residual glue if that's happening to you. So I typically do like 10s on the inner, or even start out by doing 12 millimeters on the inner, and then 10, 12, 14, 16 are usually my go-to lengths that I find typically work best for my preference and my eye shape. But everybody's eyes are different, and you can go shorter or longer. In your control kit, it comes with 12 and 14s. So keeping them all 1 to 2 millimeters away from my waterline, so not on my actual waterline. Mm-hmm. And I just keep building. See? In hindsight, maybe I should have just put the glue on only my right eye, because I could have been working at the same time, but I kind of want to show you all the difference once one eye is done. So when I'm not talking, I can get this done in less than 10 minutes. So once you get it down, it really is a piece of cake. And these are good for people with sensitive eyes too, because she really wanted to perfect the glue and make sure that it was gentle enough to not compromise the integrity of your real eyelashes. So here we go. Hey Kat, how's work going? I hope everyone that is at least in the United States is having a good Labor Day. I'm sorry you had to work, Kat. All right, you're gonna wanna make sure that your gossamer is, like, you wanna hold it right. So from the top in the middle, because if you were holding it like I was before, you can lose control of the direction. So you don't want that to happen. And if you don't like where you place it, you can just take it off and replace it, because it's semi-permanent glue. So there we go, we're getting somewhere. As you can see the difference. Just chilling, Stacy. Same. We continue to layer, getting into these shorter ones on the inner corner. Like that. And I'm not even feeling these because they're not attached to my actual waterline, which is what you want. If any of these feel uncomfortable upon application, it is a sign that you should probably tweak the placement because it should not be uncomfortable. And if you use brow serums or Latisse, you could like definitely still do that while you have these on. Because these are not, again, attached to your actual waterline. And that's where you typically are going to be putting those brow serums. So right now I see a little bit of my real lash clumping together. So I want to just separate that. And you can do this with either your wand, or LASHIFY has this like separate individual tool for that, which has these like little metal teeth on one side, and then the other side has this very pointy tip to it. But you have to just really be careful with sharp objects like this very close to your eyes. So I have poked myself in the eye with this before and it was not pleasant, but I was fine. So anyway, okay, so I think we have a good map going. So this is where I take my wand with the wandums on it. And if you only have one, you can just slip your wandums back on here. And then this is what LASHIFY calls fusing. When you're happy with the placement, you just hold, grip and hold, clamp down. And they recommend doing this for 30 seconds. Honestly, I don't usually have the patience to wait 30 seconds. But just make sure you're nice and clamp. Look at the difference, y'all. Night and day, right? Like, who doesn't want to have these fabulous lashes on 24/7? This is how you wake up every day. I don't know about y'all, but I want these babies on 24/7. I feel like a naked mole rat without these lashes. Before, after. Right? All right, let's move it along to the other side because we've already have that glue put on. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Putting on a little bit of glue on the cluster. Wiping off my little wand. Starting off in the middle. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for the compliments on YouTube. Starting off in the middle. I'm going to literally do the same thing. So as you can see, the white has already gone transparent. The white glue that I put there initially, you don't see it anymore. All right, I'm going in with the same. Now that I have my lash map all laid out in front of me, this part gets super easy. And I just want to make sure that I'm matching both sides. Again, doing the overlap method. Looking down into a mirror. You guys like to be zoomed in more? going into like the longer pieces on the outer. And on the LASHIFY website, you can see the different ways that like people apply them. So this is like more of like a cat eye style, but you can do more of like a doe eye style where you can stagger the lengths and go like short, long, like for instance, 12, 14, 12, 14, as opposed to going shorter on the inner, longer on the outer like me. So super customizable. The lengths that I like to use are in the inner corner. Depending on the style, the star styles are measuring the longest little fibers. So they tend to lean more toward, like, I can get away with like a longer length in the star styles where they're more pointy in the middle because of that reason. So I can get away with, like, so right now I used a couple of 10s. That's as short as I went on the inner. So 10, 10, 12, 12, and then 16 on the very outer. I think I did like a 14 in the middle. But I kind of dipped into some of the ones that I reused, so it was hard to tell how long these were. But I think it's typically what I do is like either 10 or 12 on the inner, and then 14 all the way to 16 at the end. And in some styles, you can get like the odd lengths, like 13, 15, but they don't come in the odd lengths in all the styles, and I don't really even necessarily think that it's necessary to have the odd lengths either. So yeah, I've gotten some in the odd lengths and they're fine, but you can certainly just like skip one and just do the even numbers too, and it works out perfectly fine, like I did here today. Some people with bigger eyes than me like to go as long as 18 on the outer. Some people with smaller eyes do shorter styles, and maybe they just want to go up to 14 on the outer. All right, hopefully that's looking symmetrical. Dipping back in with my spine. Going shorter now. I kind of want to show you the brick stack method. So as you can see, I have a longer length here. So the brick stack method would be like putting one with a little bit of space in the middle. Just want to get that one a little bit closer to the water line. So I just took it off and put it back on. And then I want to take one that's kind of in between that length and stick it right in the middle to show you that brick stacking is just as easy. right there, right in the middle, so that each side is attached to the one next to it. See? Boom. Oh, but see, there's glue on my wand, so it just stuck to my wand. I have to wipe down my wand. And it could be too that the glue is a little bit wet still. Let's redo that. There. Give it a good clamp. So far, so good. Almost done. All right, we'll go in with a shorty on the inner, dipping the spine into the glue again. I'm gonna do the overlap method on this baby. Hey Jesus, definitely beware of not getting too much glue on the inner corner of the eye. This is where it can get uncomfortable if you go too close to your waterline. It's just kind of hard to do this while filming at the same time. Just bear with me. Trying to get this placement right. Boom. Give it a good clamp. Almost done. Just finishing up the outer ones. Thank you so much. 25% off LASHIFY today for Labor Day. They're having a sale, so I wanted to show y'all how I do my lashes. I leave these babies on all week long, so I usually switch them out at the beginning of the week like I am right now, and then I don't have to really do anything, bother with them at all the rest of the week. So all right, I'm going in with a longer length to finish off the outer corner here on my left. Stack them, Noe. Thank you. You did individual lashes before strip lashes? Yeah. How were those, Shannon? I've never actually gotten individual lashes done myself because I've been too scared. I've just heard horror stories of how they can like mess up your real lashes. And then I also just didn't want to be bothered by like having to go into the salon all the time. I don't know if that looks even, y'all. No, I think this one is a little bit shorter than what I want. Is it? I can't tell. I can't tell if right here I need a little bit longer cluster, if it's even or not with this side. You did them yourself back in the day. Wow, that's impressive. I don't think I've ever met anybody that has done them themselves. Jeez, individuals on yourself? Oh my gosh, Shannon. You were the real deal. That's crazy. You didn't care to get them professionally done. All right, well, Let me see if adding another little partial cluster here will do the trick. I think that helped. Maybe that's what it needed. Do they look even, y'all? I might want to do one more, maybe like layer a couple of them. So that's the cool thing about like this system. It's like if you're not satisfied, and just keep stacking them on top of each other, and if anything, it just makes them last even longer because they just have more to hold on to. So I just kind of keep tweaking until I'm satisfied. It's also because my real lashes don't grow like the same way on both sides, or maybe like the way I sleep affects them. So I feel like on my right side, they flip up a little bit more, like they're a little bit more lifted upward. And then on my left side, they tend to go downward. It's the same with my eyebrow on my right and on my left, the way that the hairs grow on my eyebrow. So because of that, I find myself having to just like tweak it to make sure it looks even to me. Some people curl their lashes before going in and doing this. I've tried it. I don't necessarily think it's a game changer or that it's really necessary, to be honest. Because they're just gonna take the shape of the lash anyway. We're almost done. Just gonna put another one on the right hand side to kind of balance them out. Yay, you're almost off work. Just when I'll be finishing up. I'm getting hungry. I want dinner. So I'm about to be done too. What y'all having for dinner? Your left eye is also your special eye. It takes a little bit more work to make them even. Yeah, okay, I'm so glad I'm not the only one. Stacy says they look good. Okay, thank you, Stacy. Okay, so I think they're pretty even. Like, honestly, our real lashes aren't, like, perfectly symmetrical, right? So, you know, I tell myself to not trip if they're not, like, perfect, because it kind of helps add to like making them look more realistic. Is kind of like how I tell myself what I tell myself to make myself feel better, maybe. So there. So this is called what LASHIFY calls a reverse fuse by flipping your wand upward. You can certainly fuse without the wand ums, y'all. That's what's so cool about this wand. It's so precise. That's why they're handmade, because you see that precision. So when you wand, it really clamps down on the lashes. I mean, when you fuse, it really clamps down on the lashes. And it's the shape of, and they have the mini size too of this little guy, so that you can travel with it, which is cool. It's called the Birdie. I have it too. which is probably what I'm going to take on my next trip. So, yeah. If you have any clumps, just separate them. And then just like day to day, I'll just go in with like a clean spoolie and just make sure that I don't have like lint on them. But you really don't have to do much. When you wash your face, just kind of like try to wash around your lashes, or use something like this Clean Skin Club towels that are disposable, or like those little like washable little like washcloth rounds. But honestly, like in the shower, sometimes I just get lazy and I just kind of like be careful and wash with my hands around my eyes, and it's perfectly fine. If you really like do a good job of fusing them and gluing them down, they really just don't fall that easily. So if you feel any residual stickiness, you can top it off with what LASHIFY calls their like, it's like their nightline sealant. So this just helps reinforce the bond at the bottom. And if you have any like I don't know, sometimes people say that like they get a little bit of like white residue. I don't know if like certain people's eye chemistry, like the glue doesn't dry fully clear on them. I've personally never had a problem with that. My glue seems to dry fine. I think it's more of like the they have a control wax. It's called like, they're like waterproof control wax that some people find that dries with a little bit of like a white cast. So just take that nightline sealant, which is really great, and it'll take care of any stickiness. But what's nice about their like glass or control wax, whatever they call it right now, because they've changed the name a couple of times, and I have like the 3 different versions, because it's just like how long I guess I've been using this system. But see, all of these are essentially the same. Glass, control, this is the old way. I don't think that they call it glass anymore. Control wax or waterproof sealer, whichever one is on their site if you're interested. You can use either nightline or their like control wax. It pretty much does the same thing. The nightline is technically more for like reinforcing the bond. And then the sealant is typically more of like a waterproof sealer. So I'm just trying to use up my glass one, and I like how it has a little like ball tip applicator, and this is what so you could either apply it on the spines only. Don't brush it through the lashes because they'll just get like hard and just clumpy. Just on the spine. Okay. You could either do it that way, or you could take your wand with your wandums and kind of coat both of them like this with the sealant, and then that way you can get it on top too, and you clasp down, but just at the root. And that's really it. Yeah, you can certainly fuse without the wandums, but I just feel like having the wandums on them, great name for these, right? Just provides more of cushion to get like a better fuse. So that's why I like to do this part with the wandums. And they'll get the wandums come with your wand. When you buy the wand, they give you the pair of wandums. So it's not like you have to buy them separately, but you can buy replacements separately too if you need. I haven't felt the need. I just use the same ones that have come with the original ones I purchased. Why do I feel like I want to put one more right here on my left? Now I'm being picky, y'all. Just bear with me. I think I want to add one more. Let's see how it looks. Because I see like a little gap right there that I don't like. And like I said, the more the merrier, why not? That even do anything? Kind of. There. Boom. Yeah, it does. It helps. Now that I put that sealant on, it's going to be stubborn, but that's okay. It'll still work. I just have to make sure that I'm coating. This is my wand here on this blue is nasty because it's so old, so just ignore it. Yours is not going to look like this when you buy it brand new. It's just literally like on its last leg. But I just feel like I want to take one more with the little pointy tip right there and fill this little gap right here. You get my vibe? Like I said, see, I'm not holding it in the best way. I need to hold it like this from the middle top, so that way I have control over the direction of the spine. That's pretty key. There. All right, I think now I'm happy with it. I think we got it. So see, sometimes it's okay to just have to tweak. It's especially because I'm like reusing old ones, and I'm just kind of like, what LASHIFY sometimes calls a trash map is where you like, if you are the type of person to want to reuse yours and you do like lash laundry, like I said, by wiping off the glue with alcohol. Sometimes you just have like extra pieces here and there from different styles, and you can just mix and match, and sometimes those are like the most beautiful maps at the end of the day. So I'm gonna zoom you out fully so you can see the final look. And we're done. That's it, y'all. Thank you so much, Stacy. My freckles are showing today because I didn't come up on here with really any makeup on at all. Very minimal. What I do have on is a tiny bit of a brow product, which I should just shout out real quick, y'all. I'm in love with this Valentino Brow Trio. It's so good. It's like probably my favorite brow product of all time. Right now it's on sale at Sephora for $20, I think. It's originally $30. I don't know. It's $10 off. And I picked myself a second backup because I never want to be without this. And I use the shade Granite. If you have like dirty blonde hair or blonde hair, you can get away with using like the brown shade even. But this shade Granite, it's described as like a dark gray or something like that. It's pretty much just like dark brown, like almost black. So it's pretty universal. If you're a brunette, I don't think you can go wrong. But it has like a really great spoolie. It feels really nice and balanced in the hand because it's nice and long. I love how it has 3 ends. Look at that. It's like nice and precise, and it has like a flat vertical shape to it where you could really like flick upwards, and then you can place it horizontally. I have a brow tutorial short and a short on YouTube and a reel on my Instagram where I show how to do my brows. This little brow pen is the best brow pen I've ever tried, and I've tried so many. It's so consistent. It's so precise. It's even like good for wing eyeliner. I didn't go in with this one today, but like if you want to do a couple on the inner or just fill in a couple of gaps, it's so good, y'all. Like it's never going to come out clumpy. Like it's so good. Like I literally love this so much. So if you're interested, it's on sale right now at Sephora. I'll link it for y'all. Love this, baby. If it ever gets discontinued, I'm gonna cry. So there's a second backup that I have on its way to me because every time I see it on sale, I get nervous. You never know with Valentino and like what's going on. Cause like They had a double-sided eyeliner that I kept meaning to try, and now I'm seeing that it's been sold out for a while, so I don't know if they've discontinued that one. I don't know what's going on with Valentino, but... And then I heard that, like, on the Sephora Canada website, this was, like, no longer being sold, so I don't know. I just got scared, and I'm like, I'm not going to be without it. I'm going to get my backups. So good. Highly recommend. Highly recommend, Shannon, you try this one. I think Granite will be perfect for you. I keep telling my friend Sensoray to get it, too, because she used to love that. The Omnicole On Point Precision Brow Pen that's... Now Omnicole is closing down, so she's looking for a new one, and I'm like, you gotta get the Valentino one. The Victoria Beckham Beauty one is also really good. The Baby Blade, I also really like this one, but the Valentino one is better because it has that nice little pen tip applicator, so it's so good. Okay, y'all. Those are the lashes, 25% off LASHIFY through the link that I have pinned. You can find it in my bio on Instagram or in the description of this YouTube video. But I hope you enjoy doing my lashes with me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Feel free to ask me any questions. Thank you for watching the replay. If you watched the replay and made it this far, I'm always happy to answer any questions about LASHIFY. It's genuinely changed my life, and I'm here to sing its praises. I think everybody needs to have these lashes in their life. Thank you so much, Sonia. No worries at all. I just redid my lashes on camera because they're having a site-wide 25% off sale. So I wanted to show how I switched out my lashes since I was doing them anyway. So this was just like a very chill, impromptu live here on Instagram and on YouTube. All right, I'm going to go have dinner now. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Monday, that you've gotten some rest and relaxation in on this lovely Labor Day weekend here in the United States. Oh, yeah, I know. I have that Gucci, the Gucci brow too, Shannon. It's good, but I like my Valentino one better. Okay, bye everyone. Love you.